everybody, it's Alan Brochstein coming to you from Houston, Texas, from New Cannabis Ventures, and very soon publicly, 420 investor at Seeking Alpha, not Bazinga. That goes live to the public on May 15th, which is 3 weeks from Monday. Today's video is the last one for April. I say that because I'm going to New York this week. I'm very excited about that. And I will be at the MJ Unpacked conference, which is my first conference since the pandemic started. And this is actually my second trip. Why am I going to New York? Is it just for MJ Unpacked? Well, it would be, but no, my son is getting married. I'm very excited about that. So I don't think I will get a video in next week, but the week after that, I will be back. May, is that 6th? Whatever it is. So you have a good 2 weeks. I cover the cannabis market, which stinks, and I think it's going to get better. I don't know when or why, and I'm not sure when or why. This is, the purpose of this is to go over the cannabis market. Many of you are already invested and you're losing money. I know that probably for sure, unless you're a short. I don't trade cannabis stocks, and in my model portfolios, I don't have shorts, but I do speak negatively about a lot of companies publicly at Seeking Alpha in general. And this week, I published 2 pieces. The first one was kind of a normal schedule date. Seeking Alpha actually got it out last Sunday. Usually I publish on Monday. But it was called Cronos Group is Dirt Cheap. And I think it is, and you can read that article if you want to know why. I think, not why it is dirt cheap. I don't know why. I can guess. It's because Canopy Growth and Tilray are dragging all Canadian LPs down. But I also wrote, Curaleaf has fallen and can't get up. And I'm not negative on Curaleaf, but I'm not yet positive either. There are better names to buy, in my opinion. But I went over, it was a review. I published 14 weeks ago my first thing on Curaleaf where I was more negative. I thought the price was too high relative to peers. Now it's not, and you can see in the article, GTI is actually a little bit more expensive, but it should be. And I like Trulieve of the largest MSOs, and it's cheaper. You'll see that. So the news this week in the market was pretty short, a list. Well, I should tell you, this was 420. Woo! I'm not anti-420. I am anti the companies using 420 to get publicity. As a media person, I hate that. As an investor analyst, I hate that. But I don't hate 420. 420 happens twice a day. So there's all sorts of times to celebrate it. And it really is about 420 the time, if you know the original story. But 420 is a big cannabis celebration day. I'm not against that, but I am against investors thinking it's important. The news this week, besides 420, was that the Canadian cannabis sales fell 7.5% sequentially in February from January. But that's up on a per day basis. But it was only up 12.8% from a year ago, which is not that great. And but it was better than expected, I will say that. I watched the Canadian market closely. The world doesn't care. In terms of the focus list, my focus list of 28 names, there was some news this week. Ascend opened another Illinois dispensary, its 9th one, and its first outlet dispensary there. Columbia Care opened its 9th Virginia dispensary. Cresco opened its 29th Florida dispensary. Cronos Group released some data late in the week about how its cannabinoids produced through fermentation are sustainable. Kind of duh. Curaleaf, what a week for Curaleaf it was. Not only did I write an article about them, but they also were able to reverse their adult license non-renewal in New Jersey. Woo! Doesn't matter. The stock still made a new all-time closing low. And they also announced a restatement of 2021 financials and 2022. And in that restatement, they provide an outlook for Q4. There's one MSO that's big that hasn't delivered Q4. It's Curaleaf. Are they the leader? No. No, they're not. Do I hate them? No, I don't hate them either. But I don't really like the stock. Grogan opened through an acquisition a store in Michigan, not their first. GTI opened another Pennsylvania dispensary. Scott's Miracle Grow through Gavita, which is owned by Hawthorne, introduced a new LED controller. Woo! I don't think it matters. And I will just give you some free advice. If you own Scott's Miracle Grow, sell. Don't short it though. Interrison reported some progress in their attempt to uplist to the TSX. I say big whoop-de-doo. I like Terracin, the company, not the stock, but this is a non-event in my opinion. It doesn't matter. And then finally, Village Farms, through its ownership in Rose Life Science, it controls it, launched Teapot, a cannabis-infused tea beverage in Quebec. That was it. Now this week, the global cannabis stock index fell 1.7% to 810. That's not an all-time low, but it's near its all-time low. And it was worse than the S&P 500, which fell. It's hard to believe that the S&P 500 only fell 0.1%, but that's what it did this week. As a non-cannabis comment, I will tell you, I am very short the stock market, mainly technology. I don't trade cannabis stocks. So we did worse than the S&P 500, and that leaves the global cannabis stock index down year to date by 16.6%. Is that worse than the S&P 500? Yes. The S&P 500 is up 7.7%. Wow, do we stink. Will it be that way forever? No. Do I know when it's going to change? No, I don't. I know some things that could happen. I can't tell you that they will happen or when they might happen. But I can tell you cannabis stocks are insanely cheap. Does that mean you should buy them, though? Not if you're expecting a quick gain, I don't think. I run 2 model portfolios. I spend a lot of time and effort on them. And if you subscribe to my service in 3 weeks, you can follow them very closely. But I do publish, this video is based on something I put in writing, and that written article is linked in the summary to this. It was published last night, and the global cannabis stock index was down 1.7%. My model portfolio beat the global cannabis stock index, fell 4%. Oh my God. No, I had a worse week than the market. But year to date, I'm kicking, I can't say this because we may have kids, but I'm kicking ASS. I can't say ass. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kicking ass relative. All I'm trying to do is beat the global cannabis stock index, and I'm doing that. I'm down 12.8%, and it's down 16.6%. All the trades that I did this week, and there were a lot, are written in there. I exited a name, I got back in, I did a lot, and it was good. And then the other model portfolio is relatively new. Being somebody very negative about MSOS, I should have called it Beat MSOS, which I'm doing. and that's not hard. But I call it beat the American Cannabis Operator Index, and it fell 2.5% this week, which was slightly worse than that index, which fell 2.4%. Year to date, I'm not beating it. But year to date, I am beating MSOS, which fell 3.2% this week, and which is down 26.3% compared to my 22.8% loss in my model portfolio. Finally, let me conclude with the calendar for next week. And I'm out, so I don't really care. No, I do care, but I don't care about any of these companies especially. They're all small, and they're all getting their year-end reports before the April 30th or May 1st, I don't know what it is, deadline. And the first one is Tuesday, XS Financial, which I think could be a good company, but it's really small. I don't really follow it. They report on Tuesday afternoon. On Wednesday, Possibit reports, and I don't have good things to say about that company. I don't follow it though. And they were gonna buy a Cronos cannabis-related assets, but that deal fell through. And then Thursday, Bazam, which used to be T-God, and Slang Worldwide, which is a huge loser. They both are, if you ask me. They report and host calls during trading hours. That's it. Y'all have a great week, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Take care.